Hello and welcome. This is James. This is the fourth video in my series about exiled parts of our subconscious. Today I'll be talking about guilt and shame. After watching this video lesson, you will have gained a better understanding of how exiled parts of your subconscious were created after events and experiences that may have caused feelings of guilt and shame to be repressed. The video content and information discussed is heavily influenced by the internal family systems model of therapy. Before we begin the lesson, I feel ethically obligated to share some information with you about the video's material and content. This video is educational and informational. I created the videos on this channel for my clients in therapy and also shared them in the public domain. Please check the community section and read the post terms and conditions of use. That includes a liability waiver and ethical disclaimers. If you continue viewing this video, it constitutes your acknowledgement that you understand and agree to the terms and conditions of use, liability waiver, and ethical and legal disclaimers. Before you watch this video, I encourage you to watch the introductory video about exile's experiences, the other videos in this series, and the video on the self. In this video, we'll explore what happens within your internal system and to yourself after experiences that cause certain parts of you to become exiled and burdened with pain and difficult emotions. You'll be learning specifically about the emotional experiences of guilt and shame. During some of the discussion, I will be explaining the ideas through a clinical interpretation that could be perceived by some as pathologizing the human experience. That is not my intent. My intent is to share my perspective of how several theories of psychology, principles of philosophy, and theories in science intersect with the IFS model of therapy. As you watch this video, please be cautious and vigilant because exiles may be triggered and the protective parts of your system may become activated. If the exile's emotions and the protector's reactions become overwhelming, you can stop the video, take a break, and talk to someone. You may want to seek immediate professional help if it is needed. If you are my client, we can discuss the experience in our next session. Let's take a moment to prepare for the information I am about to share with you about guilt and shame. What is guilt and shame? Brené Brown, a research professor and renowned author, has extensively studied the concepts of guilt and shame, offering profound insights into how they affect our lives. According to her research, while these emotions are often used interchangeably in everyday language, they are fundamentally different in their impact on our self-perception and behavior. Let's differentiate shame from guilt and discuss the core difference. Shame is a focus on self. It is the intensely painful feeling or experience of believing that we are flawed and therefore unworthy of love, belonging, and connection. Shame says, "I am bad." It's an internalization of negative feelings about oneself, leading to a sense of worthlessness. Guilt, on the other hand, is a focus on behavior. It involves feeling bad about something we've done or failed to do, which goes against our personal values. Guilt says, "I did something bad." It acknowledges a mistake or wrongdoing without diminishing our overall sense of self-worth. Let's review the impact of shame. Brené Brown's research highlights that shame is often destructive and can lead to a range of negative outcomes. Shame can lead to isolation and feelings of loneliness. Shame can make individuals withdraw from others due to fear of judgment or rejection. Shame can lead to mental health issues. It is correlated with higher instances of depression, anxiety, addiction, and even aggression. Shame can hinder personal growth and healing. Shame can prevent people from taking risks or pursuing opportunities due to a fear of failure and exposure. Shame corrodes the belief that we can change and do better, trapping individuals in a cycle of self-deprecation and stagnation. Let's review the constructive nature of guilt. Guilt can serve as motivation for change. Feeling guilty about an action can motivate individuals to make amends and alter their behavior in the future. Guilt could possibly lead to an alignment with values. Guilt signals that our actions are misaligned with our values, prompting self-reflection and growth. Guilt can foster empathy and connection. Acknowledging guilt can foster empathy as we recognize the impact of our actions on others. Embracing vulnerability and cultivating shame resilience takes an incredible amount of self-energy. Strengths like courage, confidence, compassion, clarity, and curiosity serve us well in this endeavor. Brené Brown emphasizes the importance of vulnerability in overcoming shame. By sharing our stories and feelings with trusted individuals, we can build connections and open up pathways for authentic relationships where we feel seen and understood. We can develop self-compassion by treating ourselves with kindness rather than harsh judgment. We can enhance resilience by learning to navigate shame triggers without being overwhelmed by them. There are practical steps you can apply today to address shame. First, recognize shame and its triggers. Identify what situations or thoughts lead to feelings of shame. Second, practice critical awareness. Challenge the societal expectations and norms that contribute to shame. Third, reach out. Share your experiences with empathetic and trustworthy people. Fourth, speak to the shame. Name it to tame it. Articulate your feelings. Naming shame diminishes its power. Understanding the distinction between guilt and shame is crucial for personal development and emotional well-being. Brené Brown's work encourages us to view guilt as a helpful guide that can lead to positive change, while recognizing shame as a harmful emotion that undermines our self-worth. By embracing vulnerability and cultivating resilience, we can navigate these complex emotions more effectively, leading to a more authentic and fulfilling life. Now let's look at this another way, addressing shame in therapy using internal family systems and parts work. Shame is a powerful and often debilitating emotion that can deeply impact an individual's sense of self-worth and well-being. It is more than just feeling guilty about an action. Shame can permeate one's identity, leading to feelings of unworthiness and isolation. Addressing shame effectively requires a compassionate and integrative therapeutic approach. One such method is the internal family systems model and parts work, which can offer a transformative path toward healing. Internal family systems is a therapeutic model that views the mind as a constellation of different parts, each with its own perspectives, feelings, and roles. According to IFS, every individual has a core self that is wise, compassionate, and capable of healing. However, life experiences, especially traumatic ones, can cause parts to take on extreme roles to protect the individual, sometimes leading to internal conflicts and emotional distress. In the context of shame, certain parts may carry the burden of feeling inherently flawed or unworthy. These shame parts often originate from past experiences where the individual felt rejected, humiliated, or criticized. Other parts, such as internal critics or protectors, may exacerbate the shame by reinforcing negative beliefs or attempting to suppress the painful emotions. Parts work involves engaging with these internal parts to understand their roles, heal their wounds, and restore balance within the internal system. Here's how parts work can address shame. The first step is to recognize the parts that carry feelings of shame. This involves mindful exploration and acknowledging the emotions without judgment. Building a compassionate relationship with the shame parts is the next step. This step is crucial. The therapist guides the individual to approach these parts with curiosity and empathy, creating a safe internal space for dialogue. Next, exploring the origins of the shame helps in understanding why these parts feel the way they do. This may involve revisiting past experiences and recognizing unmet needs or unresolved traumas. The next step involves working with protectors and healing exiles. Through compassionate engagement, the individual can help the shame parts release their burdens. This process often involves forgiveness, self-compassion, and reframing negative beliefs. The final step is integrating the shame parts with the self. Strengthening the connection with the core self allows for greater internal harmony. The self can lead the healing process, fostering resilience and a healthier self-image. Here are the practical steps in therapy. I encourage clients to practice mindfulness to become more aware of their internal states and recognize when shame arises. I encourage journaling. Writing can be a powerful tool for exploring thoughts and feelings. I will ask questions that prompt my clients to dialogue with their parts through journaling. I encourage visualization exercises. Guided imagery can help in visualizing the parts and facilitating conversations between the self and the shame parts. I teach somatic techniques. Since shame can manifest physically, incorporating body-based therapies can aid in releasing stored emotions. I engage clients in collaborative goal setting. We work together to set realistic and compassionate goals for healing, emphasizing self-acceptance, values-oriented actions, and transformation and growth. Addressing shame through internal family systems and parts work offers a compassionate and effective approach to healing. By recognizing and engaging with the parts that carry shame, individuals can unburden themselves from negative self-perceptions and cultivate a stronger, more compassionate relationship with themselves. This therapeutic journey not only alleviates the weight of shame, but also empowers individuals to embrace their inherent worth and move forward with renewed confidence. That concludes this video on guilt and shame. As we move forward in our sessions, there will be opportunities for you to map your parts and engage in parts work. You and I can discuss this video in your therapy sessions, providing a safe space to explore these aspects of yourself. If you are not working with me in therapy, you can find a qualified professional mental health care provider to speak with. You can reflect on and share with me any other experiences not mentioned here that may have helped form an exile or burden an exiled part of you. Sharing these experiences with me can improve the program for you and others, and your identity will remain anonymous and confidential. I hope you were able to engage with this video lesson safely. Remember, if at any time you feel anxious, depressed, angry, afraid, triggered, dissociated, overstimulated, or overwhelmed, you can pause watching any of these videos. You can reach out to me through a message in the client account portal via email, or you may wish to complete the meditation titled Soothing a Triggered Exile. If the Soothing Triggered Exile meditation isn't available, please let me know and I'll share it with you. In the next several videos in this series, we will explore and review more exiled parts, their experiences, and their protective parts. In future videos, I will examine and review the protective parts of our systems, their roles, their burdens, and their emotions, perceptions, beliefs, and thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something new, if you found this video helpful and informative, please like the video and subscribe to the channel so you get all the new content coming out daily. Thank you for your courage and willingness to explore these difficult topics, get to know these vulnerable parts of yourself, and choose to make difficult changes in your life.